Hey, you all, welcome back. And I want to talk about hope and the future that we can imagine. So, yeah, this video is going to be about that. What can we create? What can we hope for, right? My goal, what I want to see happen here in America, there's a few simple things. I want democracy to enter the workplace in the most glorious fashion. Workers need to have more agency, CEOs need to have less power and less pay, the billionaire class needs to be abolished, and the working people need to be able to make a living. And in a way, we had that during, after World War II, FDR, all those social programs that he pushed through allowed the middle class to grow. We've lost that. We've lost the plot, right? Reagan kind of ruined that for us. But the thing is, we need to give power back to the working class. Because here in America, ownership gives you power, right? Workers don't have power, owners have power. And so when the middle class could own homes, that gave them power. A lot of the middle class here in California who bought their homes in the 70s now have $1 million homes. They're rich. That's insane. So what we need to do is strengthen the working class. This isn't a radical idea, and it isn't just a communist or socialist idea. It's just a good idea. When the people producing the goods can buy shit, it's better for the economy if you want an economy to run. So democratic workplaces. Something else that I want to work on personally, and is what I'm going to school for, is urban planning and transportation, and making our cities more efficient, making them better, making them zoned in a way in which walking around is easy, transport is easy. I want to see America have high-speed rail. I want to see subways and train systems across the entirety of the United States. And the thing is we could complete, I think, these things in years, not decades, but years, if we just properly were allocating the funds and proper, oversight was happening. Because China's done this. China has built immense amounts of high-speed rail. Same with Japan. It can be done, but we are far too corrupt right now to actually get anything done in a meaningful amount of time, right? Or a short amount of time. But it can happen. So that is also a hope I have for the future. And I know we can get there. And there's little wins here and there. Here in Los Angeles, we're seeing more and more metro lines get built and approved. And yes, they may take longer than they should to build, but they're happening. And that means, hey, by the time I'm 40, at least we're going to have a fucking metro line between, you know, the valley and the west side, which is long overdue. So I want to see that change. What I also want to see change is our ideas around ownership. I think we have to value work and labor far more than we value ownership. Because you can own a painting, right? But you didn't paint it. Yes, you got to have this amazing piece that maybe like Van Gogh painted, but Van Gogh was the one who put in the work. And so my belief is we should value the work more than we should value who owns the work, right? I think you should value the thing you buy from Amazon, right? Maybe it's some third party who makes, I don't know, some craft like stuff. Instead of being like, oh, let's value Amazon. And I think a lot of people feel that way. When I buy through Etsy, I'm buying stuff from these individuals and I want to value their art, and Etsy just makes it easier, right? But instead, we've rewarded the owners of Amazon far more than we reward the people who put their products on Amazon, right? Um, so I want to see the reversal, right? Why are we not praising the engineers and the workers who build cars every day in the car factories and all that stuff? But instead, the CEOs of car companies are getting all the clout, whether they're good or bad people. Like you can look at Elon Musk. Teslas are a feat of engineering. They are a decent electric car. But Elon gets all the credit because he's a face. Well, the workers are the company. Elon wouldn't have all his Teslas without the thousands of engineers that he hires. So we have to think and rework our society to value those who do the work, who do the art, instead of valuing ownership. One thing I also want to change is how we treat each other. America is a white supremacist country. That is our history. Whether you like it or not, you can read history, you can read about the Mexican-American War, you can read about the California Republic. You can read about everything we've done from the Civil War. All of it has been rooted deeply in white supremacy. This has to end. This has to go away. We have to lay down this idea of any racial supremacy. But right here in America, Anglo-Saxon and white supremacy has been a horrible issue for, well, I think the inception of the United States. It's a problem. It's a big problem. And as a country that tries to be diverse, it is very hard to get anywhere when we are, we have this history and people that still believe in these ideas that do not want to be diverse, who do not want to be united, and all of that. I believe diversity is our strength. You can look at science, and diverse microbiomes and organisms can fight disease better. They can do better. Purity isn't always a good thing. When you think about genetic purity, it probably means you are inbred, which can lead to some pretty bad genetic mutations. So diversity is good. And when you look at yourself as an individual, like I look at me, yes, my skin is white, right? I am Caucasian. But you look at the genetic breakdown of all the cultures that make me, I'm 7 different types of European and a teeny tiny bit of Native American, like the tiniest bit. So no one is pure anything, and America needs to leave that behind. But the crazy things we did especially during the Mexican-American War and afterwards, like with blood quantum and all this stuff, and taking people's right to vote away based on how much Native American or Mexican they had in them, is insane. And people wonder why, when you start going to college or just reading books, why does everyone get so woke? They're just teaching you history. That's it. And America's history is bloody, it is imperialistic, and it's bad. And so I want us to change that. I want us to make a new path forward in which we don't continue this idea of supremacy for anybody. We're all human, and the only enemy we have is the ruling class. That is what I'm going to preach my entire